Then everything has spiraled down. But let me take you back to the beginning.
Okay.
So I met my husband when I was 19 years old. At that time, I was going through my first divorce. I was a single parent. I was enrolled in school and I was working. My free times, I would go out, enjoy my youth. And when I met my husband, I made it clear to him that I didn't want anything serious. I just wanted to have fun.
Right.
Fast forward, we're married. Couple years after our marriage, I start having a quarter-life crisis.
A quarter-life crisis. Now, tell me why you believe you were having a quarter-life crisis. What was going on?
I wasn't happy where I was at that time with my career goals. I had a home, I had a marriage, I had my kids, but...
How many kids did you have?
At that time, we had 2.
What did you start to do when you were in crisis?
I quit my job.
You quit your job?
I quit my job.
Did you tell him first?
I expressed to him many times that I wasn't happy. I was bored in my job. I didn't want to go to my job. It wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
Mr. Lemus, is that pretty much an accurate recitation of what occurred?
No.
You tell me what you say occurred.
We were foster parents at the time. We had 2 of our own and then the 4 foster kids. So we had 6 altogether. We started off with 1.
That's a huge thing to miss over there, Ms. Lemus. I got to tell you. You told me you had 2 kids, 6 kids in the house. Mr. Lemus, go ahead.
We had our 2. We did have 1 foster kid, and she wanted an infant. So when the agency found an infant, they gave her a call, and we got an infant. The next day, the infant had siblings, so they tried to keep the siblings together. Well, they brought 2 more kids. So by the time I got off work, I had 2 more kids there. So altogether,
no heads up.
I knew about the one we had, and then I knew about the baby.
And the baby, but
Yes.
the other 2
Yes.
just popped up on you.
Yes.
Did you take in 2 children without letting the man know?
No, I told him. I called him and I told him. The baby came at 2 o'clock in the morning, and they told us that she had siblings and they were placed somewhere else. So they were going to try to find placement for those other 2 kids. And I didn't want that. I was waiting for about a year.
I got it. Let me ask you this. When and how did you first find out that she was having an affair?
She was getting in between one of her friends' relationships, and I asked her to stop, and then she told me she did, and I went through her phone and found out she did it. At that time, I found out that she was texting other guys.
More than one guy?
More than one guy.
It was one guy.
It was more than one guy.
What kind of things were they saying?
Dirty text messages, some which were the same text messages that she sent me. I ended up finding out.
No, don't tell me you sent the same dirty messages to 2 different guys, the husband and somebody else.
The same emojis, maybe, but not the same exact words.
Well, were they dirty emojis? Were there sexual emojis?
Some of them, yeah.
Oh. Did you feel at all badly about that?
No.
Why not?
Because he says he was being supportive, but he wasn't. He would come home, he would go to sleep, and that was the end of seeing him. When he was awake, he was always bickering about the kids, and you take care of your foster kids, and this is what you wanted, this is not what I wanted. You call that being supportive?
Is that true that you did fight a lot about the children?
A lot of it was just the time. I still worked full-time, and I felt like she didn't understand that. I do construction, I go out in the summer heat, and I do get tired.
I gotcha.
And she had, the bulk of the kids.
What was this new guy that you had a full-blown affair with doing for you that Mr. Lemus wasn't?
He was encouraging me to finish school, to go back and finish my dream of going to school.
Which was in law enforcement.
Hang on, let her finish. Go ahead.
And he was also encouraging me to work out and to keep on with the kids. Even though I felt like I was by myself, he would always remind me that, my husband was kind of being supportive in a way by allowing me to have the kids. He was being supportive.
And he was being supportive. Let me tell you how easy it is to be supportive when you're not in the mess that you're in. He's being supportive from afar. I don't know if he was giving you money or not, but this man was supporting you financially. This man was in the house with the kids, with you when you were upset. That other guy was just sleeping with you and talking a good game. It's really easy to be supportive when you're not carrying the burden. Really, really easy to do. People get that confused all the time, and I don't understand what it is they don't understand about what it is to be an armchair quarterback in a game you ain't playing. But anyway, I'm done with that. I got started, but I'm gonna leave it alone. You say, however, that Mr. Lemus was verbally abusive, and I want to talk about that.
After the affair, he went on and called me a slut, called me a whore.
Where and when?
In front of our children, and he tells me that I am a worthless piece of
I'm questioning because of the end. It's just the timeline of it, and it's just always on my mind.
Now we're gonna find out if it's your baby.
What are you doing?
We're playing Doctor, Star Trek style.
I'm in hell, Leonard. Don't stop.
Next, Big Bang. Tonight at 7 on the CW Central PA.
Every weeknight at 10, CBS 21 News has the stories that matter to you. From around the world to your own backyard, see the latest weather forecast and the most dramatic video. If it matters to Central PA, it's on CBS 21 News at 10. We're proudly Pennsylvanian.
If you have calcium lime hard water problems and don't want to use a salt-filled water softener, which is bad for your health and the environment, try the
Conversation and share your experiences on our Facebook page and on our Twitter page at Divorce Court. See how other couples deal with their relationship issues. The discussion can get heated. Don't miss it. Ms. Lemus, you say that Mr. Lemus was verbally abusive to you. Could you give me some specific examples of things he said and when he said them?
So after the affair, he went on and called me a slut, called me a whore.
Where and when?
In front of our children. Once was in front of our children. He went on and told...
At the time, Your Honor, we were arguing.
I'm gonna get to you, Slut and whore in front of the kids, when and where else?
Another time, son's birthday, we had guests over and I had served, and this guest was his guest, and she was upset, called me names. I asked her to leave. She wouldn't leave because she said that she was his guest, so she was allowed to be there. So I went ahead and grabbed him and asked him to escort her out, and he refused. He ended up kicking me out of the house and telling me to leave. So our families get involved. Everybody's yelling, calling each other names. I'm the slut, I'm the cheater. My son's birthday party was ruined because of this.
How long was this after the affair came to light?
6 days after the affair.
6 days. No one is excused for that kind of behavior, but you can't see that everybody was hurt and raw because of what you did.
Right.
Any other things that he said or done that you found verbally abusive?
Recently, we got into an argument. I don't even recall why. It was dumb. And he tells me that I am a worthless piece of and that I'm never going to be anything because I'm worthless.
Okay. Mr. Lemus, your response to those allegations?
What happened was the kid in question, that's mine or not, had woke up crying. I woke up. My mother, staying at the house, woke up, and we were wondering where she was at. Well, come to find out, she was outside in a t-shirt and her underwear talking to another guy at the phone at 1:30 in the morning.
Were you in your t-shirt and underwear outside talking to another guy?
And it's not the first time that I've done that. And he knows that I've gone out to the backyard, I've gone out to the front yard.
In your t-shirt and underwear?
Yes, it's a long t-shirt. It's a long t-shirt. I'm not showing anything other than legs and arms. Mm-hmm. His whole thing was that he believes that I was in a relationship with this person, and he goes to the extent of going, every time he thinks I'm doing something or that he finds out that I am doing something, he goes to the extent of going to the person's work.
What did you do at that man's job?
I just wanted closure. Confrontation was not on my mind.
Did it end up being a confrontation?
No, he ended up not being there. But my problem was that she kept saying this guy is gay, and then she says, well, we're joking around, he acts gay. I go, well, which one is it?
Did you do that?
Yeah.
For
So
what purpose? For what
because
purpose?
it's not my place to tell his business. So
she spoke about it, though. She started it.
You asked about it, and if I don't give you answers,
and once you did that, you made it his business. Once you said that, didn't mean the cat's out the bag.
He doesn't stop picking and picking and picking. He has to go until he gets something. And sometimes when you tell him the truth, he doesn't like the truth. So, okay, this guy, right? Mm-hmm. He goes to his job. Oh, I went to so-and-so's job, and they told me he's not gay, and they told me you're sleeping with him. I'm not sleeping with him, Robert.
I never said that.
Yes, you did. They told me you're sleeping with him. I'm not sleeping with him, Robert. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay, Robert, I'm sleeping with him. I've kissed him. Okay, that's what you want to hear.
Okay, so he's frustrated, and you have to admit to something you hadn't done in order to keep him quiet. I understand what you're telling me. Now I want to move to the manner in which you handle your difficulties, which I understand has a great deal to do with social media. And I want to talk about that now.
In order for him to forgive me, I went ahead and posted a live video on Facebook. He was holding my phone, and I was telling my friends and family that I was a cheater, that I was a slut, and that I was sorry for cheating on my husband.
Could you forgive your partner for having a 2-month-long affair? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court.
It's time for the Divorce Court Deal of the Week. Today we have the 24-karat B-Venom Skincare Bundle. These anti-aging skincare products are infused with powerful antioxidants from 20...
That transpired and what that confession looked like.
The day after he found out, he came back. I begged him that I wanted to make things work because we're human and we make mistakes. So in order for him to forgive me because of the allegations I made the day before, which some of them were true, I went ahead and posted a live video on Facebook, which he was holding my phone, and I was telling my friends and family that I was a cheater, that I was a slut, and that I was sorry for cheating on my husband. At the end of the video, I asked him, what else do you want me to say? So he got upset. He turned off the phone. My family thought I was being held hostage by him. I had police calling my phone, blowing up my phone, asking where we were at, if I was okay. And they went to our location to verify that I was okay.
Your Honor, I wanted just a genuine apology on camera. I did post on social media what happened, and I did call her names. Well, she went and lied and said that I beat her, I raped her, I did this, and I did that. And that's why I told her, I go, if you're really sorry, then you can post a video on social media saying that you did lie and what really happened.
Ms. Lemus,
and I told her that if law enforcement gets involved, that's...
You involved law enforcement.
How did he involve law enforcement?
The guy that I had an affair with was in law enforcement. So he...
What she's going to school
No, let me finish. And this was before I met him. I was going to school for that.
You're telling me a story.
So he finds out about the affair. He finds out what the guy does for a living. He posts it online on Facebook, and he tags the police department because he couldn't find the guy's Facebook.
You seem very indignant about his response to your, you know what I mean? You seem really indignant by the fact that he was hurt by the fact that you dishonored him in your marriage in such a complete and unequivocal way. Do you see that as a little odd?
No.
You don't see that as that it might be a normal reaction of someone whose spouse had an affair on them? Don't you see how hurtful that would be and how someone might not behave appropriately behind that kind of conduct?
I do see why he reacted the way he did, but I also feel that it's not okay, especially coming from him, because he's not a person that likes social media to begin with. He purposely wanted to humiliate me because he felt humiliated, and I understand that. I really do. Do I regret having the affair? I've told him that I don't, and I would do it again because he keeps belittling me, and he keeps making me feel like I'm worthless, and he tells me that I'm worthless. Why should I try being worth something to him if he tells me I'm not?
Mr. Lemus, you filed for divorce the day after you found out.
Yes, I've
Do you want to stop it and get back together, or do you really believe this is the end of it?
Honestly, I'm looking for a professional opinion. If we continue this, I feel like she's not sorry in what she does, and I just feel like if that's how it is, then there's no reason to move forward.
I'm going to answer your question about what you think you ought to do, and I'm also going to answer your question about whether or not that last child is yours and determine whether or not that is going to weigh in on your decision. Today's question sponsored by
Scarves Off.
V in here got a reason to be angry. You have an absolute reason to be angry with this woman because she cheated on you. And you got to own the fact that once you did that, you hurt him in such a primal, instinctual, and deep way that he's going to do things that are a little out of character and unkind. Hey, it's all me. Out of character and unkind. Having said that, you don't ever, and I mean ever, involve your children in the adult nonsense in which you are engaged. I don't care how hurt you are. I don't care how bad you feel. You don't bring it up at a birthday party. You don't tell your children that their mother is a slut or anything else. And you don't go broadcasting it to the world at large because she hurt your feelings. I know she did a horrible thing, absolutely horrible, and she has to take time and measures to make it up to you. And you don't seem to feel that you're responsible to make it up to him, but you do. He's not going to trust you. So you don't go outside in your t-shirt and talk to the guy because he has trust issues because you created them. So it's your responsibility to do something about it. But at no time does this become an excuse to embarrass her and humiliate her publicly and mess with your kids. Mess with your kids' heads about who their mother is. Holy cow. How
Your Honor,
could
can
you?
I say something?
No, you can't. You know what, Ms. Lemus? You got impulse control. You want to do what you want to do when you want to do it. You quit your job. You got a whole lot of kids. You didn't ask him. You got him all caught up in a whole bunch of stuff, and you still don't want to take responsibility for it. It is your responsibility. Absolutely, unequivocally. You want to have an infant. If you're not in a position to have an infant, you don't have it then. Holy cow. Now we're going to find out if it's your baby. Do you really think it's not, or you just question it because she acted such a fool at the end there?
I'm questioning because of the end. It's just the timeline of it, and it's just always on my mind.
Well, it's one thing you need to take off your mind, because that's your baby.
I told you.
99.99999. Got 27 nines behind that .99. Now, here's my next thing.
I've been there for him, so.
Yeah, and listen, here's the next thing. If you really want this thing to work, you got to put a period on the anger. You know, you did a bad thing, he did something in response, so you had the right to respond. You got to let all of that go. You have a job to do, which is to allow him to trust you again, and you have to do that, being over the top in your trustworthiness. If you want to stay in this marriage, if you want to forgive her, don't keep her and abuse her. You got to make a decision about that. But whatever you do, make a decision. But everybody got to stop being angry, and I mean right now. Everybody got to get off social media. Everybody's got to be quiet in front of those children, and I mean right now. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes.
Good luck to the both of you. This matter is adjourned.
You didn't have any remorse. You said that you don't regret doing what you did. You said you'd do it again.
I understand I made a mistake, but I'm not the only one that has to change. There was problems before the cheating.
Do you think you can trust her again?
After finding out that the baby's mine, I think it's a start, but there's still a lot of work to gain trust.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today with Janaya Kendrick and Kern Thorne. The two of you have been together for 4 years. You have one child together, correct? Mm-hmm. This is a before your vows. You want to get married, but there are some significant difficulties, including significant difficulties with her family. Ms. Kendrick, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why you're here asking me whether or not you should get married?
Okay, well, I've been with him for 4 years.
Right.
We've been living together for 4 years, but we still seem to be stuck when we first met each other. We're the little things.
Tell me about a few of those little things.
Things like who does what for the household, who cleans what more, and those little things become an argument a lot with me and him. Mm-hmm. Finances becomes an argument every other day. When he's out of money or he's broke or something, or he doesn't have anything left, he'll get mad because he's the only one working and bringing in the money consistently. And he'll start to get mad and argue about, well, you don't do this and you're not working and you're not helping with the bills. But it's 50-50, I believe, because I pay majority of the rent. he just turns and pays the
other thing,
the other half, of, like the little small portion of the rent, and then we have maybe like 2 to 3 bills that he'll pay.
Mr. Thorne, is that an accurate representation of what's going on in your household, or do you have a different point of view on it?
She's somewhat accurate of it. What she does helps a lot because she takes care of the house, and that allows me to work freely and to do what I need to do.
Right.
When it comes to the finances side, I would say it's an issue because I am the only one working. And, you know, if I got to do everything on my own, what I have is what I have. If I don't, then that's it. You know, she is right.
Say that to me again. If I have to do everything on my own, what I have is what I have.
I mean, in terms of meaning, if we have it to do it, we can do it. But if we don't have it to do it,
I got you.
You know, we can't do it. We'll have to see and say, okay, we have to wait till next time I get paid again, or it just gone to the wayside.
Now, from what I'm seeing right here, that's normal couple stuff that we can work on. But Ms. Kendrick, I understand that there's some underlying issues from the beginning of the relationship that I think you're still upset about. Yeah. Why don't you tell me what was going on in the beginning that you still have resentment about today?
In the beginning of our relationship, everything
You know, how you don't even know me as a person to really, you never sat down with me and tried to talk to me, and then you just thought I'm a bum, I'm a deadbeat. But before that, I was, you know, I've always been a worker, I've always been hard working on
messy stuff.
Yeah, which I don't do anymore because like they're just going to judge him off of what he done in the past, not looking at what he's progressed to.
You think she's overreacting?
Yeah, she's overreacting.
He hurt her baby, and she's just not gonna like it. No matter
my mom's just very protective of her kids. So
okay, I'm gonna get past what happened in the beginning because it appears you've gotten past it.
Yeah.
And what I want to talk to you about now is the.
Think all judges are the same?
My son should really be here to represent.
Details of their lives. Join the conversation and share your experiences on our Facebook page and on our Twitter page @Divorce Court. See how other couples deal with their relationship issues. The discussion can get heated. Don't miss it. Ms. Kendrick, you say Mr. Thorne says some outrageous things to you when you argue. Can you give me some examples of the things he says or the things he calls you?
When we get into arguments, most of the times it's always about finances. But when we do get into arguments, we'll start to nitpick on who does what for the household, who pays who, and then we'll get nasty with each other. He'll tell me that's why nobody loves you, your family doesn't even like you, and then most of the time me and my family aren't speaking, it's because of him.
You said in your papers he's called you stupid in front of your friends, is that accurate?
Yes. He has called me stupid.
And you say he's called you a B, but you've also called him a B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Thorne, is what we're talking about accurate, or do you have another story to tell?
We both, when we get into it and we both argue, we both just...
It gets ugly.
You know, we'll just argue. You know, we got into... we were talking the other day about, you know, trying to get a vehicle and seeing about that. And from us talking about seeing about getting a vehicle to us just arguing out of, just off of a few.
Let's talk about the money. Tell me how the money thing works at your house and the things that he believes you ought to be doing that you're not.
He just wants me to work. He just feels like honestly, I think like he feels like I've never worked since we've been together, which is not true. I've always had a job. This is probably the first year that I haven't had a job, that I haven't been working. So he'll just belittle me and make it seem like, okay, well, we can't go out.
Why don't you have a job? I mean, sometimes, I know it's nice to have that 1950s version of life, but sometimes in this man's America, it does take two incomes.
Well, see, at first, he was okay with me. It was like, okay, I'm okay. You're helping because my son, he has special needs, so that check goes towards rent every month. So he doesn't have to worry about a big chunk of rent every single month.
Because if your child has special needs and disability because of it.
That comes from me. If it turns around and he can't do something to make something happen, like he doesn't have to worry about food. I do that stuff. So it's like it's 50-50 when it comes to things like that because it's
Mr. Thorne, what do you think about her contribution to the household financially?
It's a lot because like she said, if I had to worry about the rent on my own, I would have to, take money from one check just to make sure that the next check have enough. And that would be difficult. It's a little bit difficult how it is now, but it would be much more difficult if I had to worry about the rent of my home.
But do you have some concerns over her not contributing more substantially?
I more or less want her to work so she could have that confidence in herself. Because when we going through it and we don't have no money, the first thing she's always ready to say is, gosh, I wish I had my own job. I wish I had my own money. And then when I say, okay, go ahead and get you a job, the next thing that she'll come back to me is, well, I'm going to get my own and you just going to get out. You got to go. And it's like, I want you to have your own so you can feel confident in your own money.
But does she harp on you about how much money you bring in then?
No, she doesn't come at me about the money. She comes at me about more or less being able to provide her some money to do the things that she want to do for herself or the kids. And
do you get on him about how much he can bring home to you so you can do stuff?
Not all the time, but sometimes.
But you do it.
Sometimes, like not.
Do it, especially
not
when
all the time.
When has she asked for something
like my hair
outrageous
done,
or ridiculous?
I would say,
nothing ridiculous. My hair done, my nails done, certain things that women want done. Like I got to do it myself. He doesn't do it.
I'm going to expose myself as a court low on estrogen. If money's tight, your hair don't need to be done, nor do your nails need to be done. None of that is essential. You got a special needs kids. You're getting disability on that. You guys are just making it. Hair and nails is not essential. I know I'm going to get hate mail for that, but hair and nails is not essential. And if he's tight and it's hard, you should let that go.
But then if he doesn't have it, I would get it myself.
How much savings have you got?
I mean, like,
how much savings have you got? It's not
I don't have any savings. I don't have anything.
You can't have children and not have savings. If you're, whatever, you should have a jar called hair and nail money. And every time you feel like getting your hair and nails done, you take that money and put it in that jar and put it in the bank. Don't have an impoverished mentality. There's all show and no go. My understanding is, Miss Kendrick, you are waiting for that ring. Let me tell you what your mother told me. She said, I don't know why she's waiting on a ring. She's still married anyway. Are you still married? Can you have a good relationship with your partner if your mother hates them? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court. Today's question sponsored by...
When
you waiting on a ring, wondering what's taking so long.
Yep.
Maybe we should ask him. Mr. Thorne, what do you think about marriage?
I'm open to it. My mother was married I'm 29, so she was married for her whole life. So, for me, I've seen how it is to have that family structure and how it is to be in that. So I would want that for my kids and for myself also.
You say you're open to it, which means the idea of it is nice. Are you open to it with her?
Yes, I am. I am open to it with her.
Is there something holding you back?
I just feel, I would say the little small issues that we have, I would say one of the issues that we will have is her family. Like, cause, you know, outside of the kids that we have at our house, is her other 2 kids.
Right.
And for me, I would want them around too. I don't want them to just say, oh, you know, the 2 that we have is all perfect and everything, and they're not there, you know.
Right.
I would want them around so they could have the same.
Are they around?
No.
No.
They can't come around because he's there.
Your mother won't let them come around because he's there?
Yeah.
Wow. Your mother really don't like you. Let me see what else she said about you. She said, my daughter would be okay financially because I own several businesses and she used to be administrator, but when she was, he used to have him just chilling at my stores, and I'm not having him chilling at my stores, so she can't work there because I don't want him there. I mean, Mama really don't like it.
In terms of her working with her mother, she have problems with her own mother working there. She will, if she has something to do in terms of her son. A prime example, she was working there 1 year, and you know she'll have to go back and forth taking her son to the doctor. Right. And in terms of her mother saying, "Okay, it's okay," the first thing he's saying, "Oh, you're gonna get fired. I'm gonna fire you." Yeah. And it's like, what's the point in if I'm working for you and you know I have a situation I'm telling you in advance, not just a day but days in advance that I have to do this, and and you turn around, oh, you're fired. Then it's like, you know what? I'd rather go work for somebody else and be able to do the things I need to instead of saying, oh, you're fired. Because what's the point of doing it if you're gonna threaten me every single time I have something to do?
So you're waiting on a ring. You're waiting on things to get less thick. Let me tell you what your mother told me. She said, I don't know why she's waiting on a ring. She's still married anyway. Are you still married?
I've been separated for several years now.
But not divorced?
No.
Were you aware?
I was. I've been aware of it.
What you waiting on a ring for? Come on back, but don't go there with her. And when he doesn't go there, you say, oop, he's leveling up. I better level up too, or he ain't gonna wanna deal with it. You're two good people. I mean, the other marriage is an impediment, no doubt. But the other stuff you can work out, and I think you can. Ahead and bless a marriage that you can't make, but once you get rid of him, attach yourself to him. This matter is adjourned.
So you want a ring, but you can't get married yet anyway.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about this divorce? We're going to finalize that?
Yeah, I'm going to finalize that.
Yeah, how? What's your plan? Quickly?
Very soon.
I don't have nothing negative to say. You know, all the things that were said are not true. I'm a hard worker. I'm far from a deadbeat, you know. I'm not none of the people that she said, so